meeting being, what's today, the 19th of August 2021. This is the Planning Commission. Is there a motion to open the meeting?
Make a motion to open.
Second that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Please be kind enough to introduce yourself, starting with you, Doug.
My name is Doug Pimentel, town planner.
Phil Mello.
Mark Samarizio.
Brian Deschamps.
And as we speak, Rick is walking in the door.
Rick Helms.
With that, thank you everybody. First one on the agenda is signed documents, commercial developments, New England retail. Do we have all those papers now?
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty well sure we did all that stuff. You guys got the packets I left in your mailboxes, minutes?
Yeah, they're all at home. Took the bike today. You buying one?
No, I was there. Nevada, the loneliest road in America.
Nice ride.
It was fun, actually. No traffic enforcement, nobody out there. There are two, a few towns, city kind of,
So
gas
this
can
is
be
the last
100 miles
meeting.
away.
The documents just need to get signed and the bottom copies of Mylar.
I mean,
Okay, let's start with
I got a
the,
7-gallon tank, so.
you guys are all set on this one, right? For New England retail, the gas station.
This is from last meeting, it's just to sign the Mylar on the last page.
Anybody from New England retail here?
Nobody there?
No?
Yeah, nothing.
Bike's in the middle of the road.
Yeah, no oncoming traffic, right?
Nope. You can see it from miles away.
Just in the Mylar?
Yeah.
Going back to Rick. Doug, you gotta put today's date on this?
I can do it.
Okay, that's fine. That pen doesn't work, we have another pen, right?
It's a skinny one, but it works.
It's okay. And they can see it at the registry of deeds. One more, I'm gonna say that one, Doug.
March does.
That we're gonna sign the papers, we can move on to our second one. Sign certificate in action, ground mounted solar array, 540 Main Street. GJA Clean Energy applicant, represented by Atlantic Designs. Anybody here for that one?
I think they're gonna come bring the documents.
Okay, no problem. There's no Mylar in that one, is there?
No, it's
Just that, right?
Yep. You guys understand that, we just signed these, you wanna look at the conditions and everything, the decommissioning is in there?
No, we're still waiting on that master vehicle.
This. Oh, that was too old one. Okay.
So we make a motion to sign these papers, and decommission will come from SW4.
Yep.
Let's see, which,
540 main.
all right, I'll make a motion to sign the final documents for 540 main solar array.
Is there a second?
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Just realized what's nice about this, they got the box in the right spot now, they got a corner or something, you know? You sign this, Mark? You didn't check.
I think we did.
Just the one page.
Yes. You okay with that, Bill?
You don't have to fold it, it's okay.
I'm not, I'm just gonna take it, fold so I can. All right.
I just want to check it out, see what it is.
I think you might have a piece of paper on the bottom there, mine, the very bottom, Phil.
Huh?
No, I got it there, I'm sorry.
You need to sign it. I need my name.
Well, we're all set for that. We'll go continue on signing documents, Gammons and Mattapoisett Road, certificate of action.
Yeah, so I wanted to speak on that matter.
Go right ahead.
So they had put it in the package for you. They had requested a change of language within the certificate of action. And it was coming from their lawyers. So
Their lawyers or our lawyers?
their lawyers are suggesting the language. I made the change and I highlighted it in yellow in this one and what I provided. I also have originals if you'd like to take a look at those. I am gonna seek the board's approval.
Yeah.
Those are the two different things that their lawyers want, correct, sir?
Correct, or highlighted in yellow.
That's not, this says they're not gonna remove anything that's owned by the public until that's really no difference.
Okay. For 7, number 4 was my concern.
Just those two?
It's just those two. Number 4 is the main concern.
You want me to read that into the minutes before we do anything?
It's really a small change. I mean, if we make something up and tell them to do it and they don't want to, then you go to court.
Yeah.
Look,
That's what I have there.
Lord knows where that ends up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what you're asking for is our permission to
Yeah, I just,
take it to town council?
yeah, it's up to you guys. If you're okay with the language, we can move forward with it. If not, we can go speak with the council.
Have town council take a look at it.
Is there a motion?
I would make a motion that we,
Item number 4 and 7, is it?
I would make a motion that we refer the requested changes to condition 4 and condition 7A to town council for review.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. With that, you have our undivided attention to go to town council.
Okay.
I'm all that.
Wonderful. Can't wait.
Well, you just make a call, if they give you permission, you can just call, whoever's up there, Jeffrey Blake,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
Pat actually gave me his number and had suggested it too.
1, 2, 3, 4 signed documents, ground mounted solar array, 1209 Main Street, Roy Morrison Associates LLC. Just sign those.
Yes, man, yeah.
Yep, so
I am here, somebody is here for that
Okay.
project.
I have these similarly.
Would you like to speak, sir?
No, I just, the only thing I'd like to say is that I appreciate, this was one we worked through the planning board to come up with a reasonable decommissioning. I think that was the one issue.
Yep.
And I appreciate the board's work on that.
Did
And
you
we're
put a special decommissioning price on that?
Yes, it said 10,350. So essentially, what I did was I took the average of the two numbers SW Cole presented us, and that was a decommissioning cost. So
You have a number on that?
yes, on here.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can tell us, I don't care.
Yeah, it said 10,350.
Okay. So, motion to sign these papers on 1209 Main Street.
He's got
Is there a motion to sign?
All right, I'll make a motion that we sign the final documents for the ground mounted solar array at 1209 Main Street.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. 0 and 165 Nice Lane, request for public hearing for solar array, installation, assessors map 18, lot 57 and 57A. Proponent is R&R Renewables LLC, represented by Henderson Consulting Services. Send letters to abutters and public housing. The plans are accompanying documentation available for inspection at the town clerk's office, Potting Way, building 130, main first floor. Is there anybody from 0 or 165 Nice Lane?
I am here.
There you go again,
Yeah.
a smile on your face.
So, yeah, my name is Robert Naser. I'm a managing partner at R&R Renewables. We're here to present our proposed solar array for a special permit for 165 Nice Lane and the abutting adjacent property 0 Nice Lane. I'm here with the owner of 165 Nice Lane, Teddy Chopper. So if it's the pleasure of the board, I have a short presentation to present to the board. And I was going to take about 10 minutes, and then we could go into questions if that's good for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, very good, thank you. I did send around enough. I don't know if everybody has, and Doug, the copies of these. We can work off of this. I'll bring it up a little bit closer so everyone can see. And is the camera, we can get that on there. Just a brief overview. There are actually two applications in. One for map 18, lot 57, which is Mr. Chopper's property, which is the northernmost property here. There is another application for the adjacent property, which is map 18, lot 57A, which is the southernmost property. That property is owned by Francis Mills, which is Mr. Chopper's aunt. So these two projects have been were conceived together, were designed together. We're asking to have them permitted together, and they'll be built together. So even though there's two separate properties and they're two independent projects, we're essentially treating them as one. Just to go over some of the physical attributes of the land, as you can see, there are two narrow lots, 130 feet at the frontage on Nice Lane, and they're 750 feet approximately deep. I believe at one point they were two lots and it was subdivided at some point in the past. We have, one of the things that you can make note of is that there is the front of the property, the elevation is 108 right at the street right here. The elevation at the rear is 83, so there's about a 23-foot difference between the front of the property and the back of the property. This would be, the northwest corner is the highest point of the property, and the property slopes gently to the southeast over here. One other thing, some physical notes to mention about this. There's also an existing hedge, probably right around this point on the southern property. It's maybe a 30-foot hedge that is already existing there. The abutting property to the north, I'm not sure, there's a shed back here, there's a garage, there's some storage trailers over here. To the east, there are existing forest there, and I presume on the other side of the road there's homes on, I think it's Middle Road, is that right?
Correct.
Middle Road over here. And then the abutter on the south, there is a house maybe 20 feet right off of Nice Lane, and there's a small little berm that somebody must have built at some point, and then in the back, I'm not sure what it's used for, maybe some sort of construction yard or thing, something of that nature. The other abutters across the way, there's a house across the way on Nice Lane here, and then Francis Mills, who owns this property, is the next abutter on the heading north on Nice Lane. As part of our due diligence, we talked to both Mary Lee Kelly at the Conservation Commission, and we talked to Chief Gallagher about the fire road as well. And to get into some of the specifics about the proposed array, the array begins in probably approximately 300 feet from Nice Lane, and is pushed to the back of the property lines. Each of the systems will be approximately 500 panels, 540, so 540 panels here on this system here, which would be the top system. That would be Mr. Chopper's, and then 540 panels on the southern array. There's a fire road that we went through and we reviewed with Chief Gallagher. It'll be access Nye Lane on the northwest side of the northern property, Mr. Chopper's property. It'll come down along the property lines, and then it will go in between the two arrays right here. So, and there'll be a hammerhead turn at the top of the array right here for fire protection and fire access. And Chief Gallagher was good with that design. All of the electrical will be underground. There'll be 2 new utility poles placed. There'll be one right on there's a stone wall along the property line here. There'll be a new utility pole with a transformer placed on that. And then there'll be a new utility pole and a transformer placed on Nye Lane. All from the telephone pole, the new poles, all the way back to the array, everything is underground. So everything will be trenched underground. The other feature of the property is to account for the stormwater management and the drainage attributable to the road and to the solar array. There is a designed stormwater basin in here, and that is out detailed in another sheet that I will get into right now. We can bring this back up for questions afterwards. Sheet 2 is just the pre-construction design. Obviously, we're going to have stormwater management here. We'll have a silt sock around the area that's going to be disturbed. We've identified all the trees on the site that will need to be removed. It's approximately 15 trees. Some of the ones on the edges may get limbed up, but they'll probably not get removed. I've counted 15 trees here, so those would be removed as part of this project. Sheet 3 is just some of the details. It gets into the fence detail, which you may or may not be interested. Also, a gravel road is what we proposed for the fire access road, and the chief was fine with that. So here's the detail on the fire road. And then lastly, the last sheet is the design of the stormwater design. We actually went out there with the engineer, with the site contractor. We did 2 test pits, which are located on the first sheet. I'll bring those up and I'll show you those. And based on the soil types, he designed a drainage basin in the back. It actually worked out fairly well because the natural slope of the property goes towards the southeast corner, and so there was not a lot of management he had to do except for put that drainage basin back in. And I'll bring that up here again so that everybody can see where the drainage basin is going to be. So there's a drainage basin, and then there's an overflow. There's an overflow tank right here, and then there's the spillway right there into this tank. So everything naturally flows back into this corner, and so it worked out very well as far as placing the stormwater basin there. Of course, there's going to be a fence all the way around both arrays. That was at the suggestion of actually the chief. We were going to put a fence around both. He thought it would be better if we had one fence around both, and there'd be an access gate here, and then a man access gate at the end down here. That's what he requested, so that's what we designed. And I think that covers the basics of it, and if you gentlemen have questions or would like more detail, I'd be happy to answer any questions for you.
Basically, this is just an application to come in, we still have to have the public hearing.
Absolutely, right. So this is, I think tonight, in my perspective, this would be a meeting, a hearing to obviously present to you folks, to deem that the application is complete and to have a public hearing date set. That's the goal for this evening.
Correct. I just have a couple questions. When
Sure.
was the last time you talked to the chief on this?
It would have been, let's see, when did we talk to
Couple
him?
weeks ago, I think we went.
Yeah, it was probably, maybe it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, I guess, at this point. It was in the summer, maybe it was late summer when we talked to him.
I'd estimate 3 to 4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
just saying because his new ruling now is he wants a fence around it and a 14-foot gravel inside the fence for the trucks to go
a
around.
circular route. We brought, that was one of the, I think that, when we talked to him about that, the site is very narrow here, and we talked specifically about that, and he was okay with not having a loop road here and just having the one road in the middle. So if you want to talk to the chief,
My suggestion is you get a letter from the chief stating that when you come in with the public hearing.
okay, he did say he was going to contact somebody at the planning board when we left him that day, so.
Okay, we get it? We don't have
I don't know if
anything-
anybody, he said he was gonna talk to somebody on the planning board, so I will.
My suggestion to you is call the chief, make sure he's aware of what you're doing here because he has a new thing that he wants everything fenced in with 14-foot of gravel inside the area for the trucks to turn around. If he doesn't want that and he okays this, that's fine with us, but if you're gonna come in next time, I would suggest you have it in writing.
Okay, I will absolutely do that then, so we'll work on that.
And we're talking stormwater, he has to get a hold of Pat for stormwater on this.
I gave Pat the stormwater application.
Okay, great. Gentlemen, anything else?
Where's the nearest house to that outlet from the drainage basin?
This one down here,
Yeah, what would be the nearest house?
I would think there's a house, that I know of, there's a house on the southernmost property, so it would be over, up here.
What about downslope from?
I don't know, I really don't know where the closest house is on there. I'd have to take a look at the map. I know this is the delineation, there is a 100-foot buffer wetland zone shown in here, that's the dashed lines right there. I don't know how far back that goes, but,
I'd like to see a little something on that.
okay,
I don't want anybody's house, I don't want anybody's backyard to be getting flooded.
sure. So a little something, do you want, I guess, a larger, to see how far the houses are away, maybe expand the visual here?
Well,
So we get
generally, what's the terrain like that it's dumping into? And is there a possibility that it's going to overflow and go through somebody's backyard or front yard?
right, okay, I mean,
I'm dealing without any information at all in that spot, so I want to be informed.
okay, we'll do our best then, yeah.
And we're talking closest fire hydrant.
The closest fire hydrant is, I believe it's, it is up on Nye Lane,
I think it's right at the driveway.
right there it is, right in between, right there, yeah,
Okay.
fire hydrant.
Chief has a new thing, it has to be 1,000 feet or closer,
Yes.
okay, without putting in a special, what's it, CERT they call it?
Oh, yeah.
System.
Is that what's it called?
Cistern? Yeah.
Cistern, yep, okay.
Yeah, he did, we checked at that and we talked to him about that too,
Just
but
trying to make it easier for you.
I appreciate that.
Gentlemen, anything else? Doug, let's put it in the paper, the next meeting, might as well set it for September. What are we up today, the 19th? 23rd good, or 16th, gentlemen? I guess we have to go to 23rd because we have to put it in the paper for 2 weeks, right?
Just take a look. I would just suggest 16. We have plenty of time if we do the 16th to do 2 weeks.
You guys, anybody going on vacation? 16th good for everybody?
Good for me.
we'll make that, number
John,
one.
that's John Kipple.
That's a 50. You missed it.
No, it says, I don't know.
Does it?
My phone's telling me it's the 16th.
Yep.
Do I have the right one?
First day of Hispanic
I
Heritage.
got the 15th, must be a misprint.
Last year's.
Well, 2020. Anything is possible. And we'll make that number one on the agenda,
Yes, sir.
okay? I can say anything else?
No, just thank you, appreciate it, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
No
Board
problem, everybody
members, I
get the
appreciate it.
abutters list and all that?
I'll get the abutters list, I'm gonna work, the other thing I did wanna say is that Doug has been super helpful in the, now.
We're gonna try and get him a raise, but we just got him here, so it's gonna take a while.
So I think he's gonna be a great asset for you as the planning board and for the town, so he's
Yeah,
been
he's
great
been
to work with as a applicant, he's been great to work with, so, thumbs up. Thank you, Doug, I appreciate all your help.
Absolutely, no, thanks. It's been great to work with.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you can give that to Doug. That's our next one here.
Quick and simple, on that?
I think,
Quick and simple.
yeah, well, it's a little cooler than it'd be nice.
The old sunburn, you get off that sailboat, will you?
Get ready for the storm coming.
It's coming, too, we're gonna get it Monday.
Right on the way. All of that?
Sunday.
No.
Monday.
Sunday night or Monday?
Strip it.
Sunday, you're gonna do?
Yeah, some done.
Tie that boat up.
Yeah, well, the problem, I guess, is it's full moon on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, look
Oh,
out.
boy.
I tied it like 9 o'clock.
With that, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, have a nice evening, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Next one on the list.
Robert, you want me to take this coffee with you?
Oh, sure, that'd be great. Thank you very much, thanks, Doug.
Of course.
Next one, 301 Perry Hill, request for public hearing, Form C subdivision for a 60-lot development at 301 Perry Hill Road for Mark Francois, applicant, excuse me, represented by Vivian Schneider and Leon Mattapoisett, Mass. Anybody here to speak on that?
Yep.
Go right ahead, sir.
Good evening, I'm Matt Leone with Schneider, Vigna Leone here tonight to submit the definitive plans for Mark Francois, again similar to the previous meeting, previous applicant to be placed on the agenda for the next meeting. Right up in the, on the agenda, it's actually a 4-lot subdivision that has been approved by the, not approved, but the preliminary plan has been approved by the board. It's not a 6-lot anymore. I don't know if that had been miscommunication or just a rehash of the existing
I'm looking at it going.
project. Yeah, 4-lot. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Good.
Clear
Clear that up right away.
Yeah, the definitive subdivision is going to be located on the northwesterly side of Perry Hill Road. It's just before the Rochester town line. It's a redivision of an approved 4 retreat lot plan that was approved back in December of 2006. Again, we're doing 4 lots. 3 of the lots will be new. 1 is going to has the existing dwelling, Mark's existing home now. The intent is to create a new 50-foot wide layout that is going to service the 4 lots, provide access and frontage for the reconfigured lots. We're proposing a new entrance off of Perry Hill Road that will tie into an existing gravel road that is already bisects the lot. That road will be upgraded and improved as well. As I said, the plan has been approved at the preliminary plan was approved at the April 22nd meeting, and we are here to formally submit the plans and to make sure that the materials are all in order. I believe the application, plans, and fees were submitted to the town clerk on Friday, August 13th. I think Doug is in possession of those. We've also submitted the abutters lists to the assessor's office. I have copies of those receipts if you guys do not, if the board needs those. The plan has been submitted to the Board of Health. I have a copy of their receipt as well. I'm not sure if that has gotten to your desk yet. And yeah, we look forward to presenting the plan next month.
It's no problem. Gentlemen, we've been through this one a little while.
Yeah, several times. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
let's get the hearing
Yeah.
set, and we'll have more discussion.
So you understand you have to do the abutters list, set the abutters, the abutters,
Yep.
all the stuff?
They've all been spent, you guys, you want me,
No,
I can give you the
not
copies
until next
now.
meeting, we don't want to know until the next.
You have those?
Yes, I do.
And do you need a copy of the Board of Health stamp in?
No, I should be all set with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With that, we'll set it up for that meeting on September 16th. That will be our second applicant.
For real subdivision. Kind of.
You want the second on the agenda?
Yes, please.
Registry was the last one, wasn't it?
Well, what would be a good idea is if we could put together a sheet with the timelines on this. We have certain requirements for action within certain times of subdivisions.
Downstairs, Pam is doing that, she set it all up with you, did you, I saw it the other day, she was there. Every project that's going on in the timelines.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay?
I mean, there's some specific ones for
No.
subdivisions.
Yes, I understand.
Okay,
Yeah, me and Pam have been working together a lot on that and catching up on this paperwork.
that would be a good idea, that way, I mean, obviously, we're not in time trouble yet,
Yeah.
already, but,
We're-
you need to start the sheet. I've forgotten now when the date actually starts, whether it's submission at the meeting or
It is
submission to
submission.
town clerks.
Submission at the meeting.
Okay,
Yep, and I
Okay.
have all the paperwork.
okay.
One other thing that I wanted to bring up, Mark did try to submit the plans to the fire chief, and he said that there was a list that he had generated for you guys as the requirements, and he didn't want to review the plans at all. I didn't know if you guys had that list.
Oh, for the,
Not for
hammerhead.
solar, but.
yeah, the
but-
hammerhead, yeah.
The
So
hammerhead.
I'm still working on getting the letter from him.
Okay.
Mark actually spoke with him.
Okay,
So I'm gonna have that all laid out and then I'll email you.
okay, great, so we'll have it before the next meeting, just in case there's anything that
And
we.
basically what he's saying is, he wants us to decide.
Okay.
If it's a 20-foot layout, it's a 20-foot hammerhead or a cul-de-sac. It's a 50-foot, then a 50-foot layout for the hammerhead.
Okay,
We can decide the width of the road and the
Okay.
width of the hammerhead. He would like that. He gets overwhelmed with
sure.
all this stuff that we've been sending him.
Just want to make sure that we address his concerns.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be sending you a letter if he's not sent you one already.
Yeah, absolutely. If not, I'll be in touch with him tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's probably the best way, is just kind of keep in touch with him, let him know what's happening with the project.
Absolutely.
And if he does have any special requests, do it through you.
Okay.
Great. Look it up, folks. We'll see you next month.
I appreciate it, guys, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you.
I saw John out there somewhere.
With that, next one, discussion, roadway improvements, existing condition plans, Perkins Lane, assessors, Acushnet Assessors Map 5, Lot 9, represented by Zenith Consulting. You folks here for that one?
Yeah, I think he was out over here.
Just a quick question, Mr. Cinerezo.
Excuse me?
Just a quick question. On an abutters list that he was referring to,
Yes.
have those been sent out yet? Or
For 301 Perry?
301, yes.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, I thought he had mentioned that it was a receipt, they had received.
Well, they have to send them out and we have to get the receipts.
Oh.
He might have just given him the abutters list.
I see.
I can ask him on it, but it's abutters up to 300 feet, determined by the assessor's office.
Right. Okay, thank you.
So it's the assessor's office that actually determines who the abutters are to that project,
Okay.
not the project
You
owner.
didn't see John out there, Doug?
I saw the plans out there. I did not see John though.
Don't worry about it. We'll move right on, he can come in next. He's here for two.
He's here for the rest of them. It's just the planning update.
Oh, well, we're up, for too bad, he's late, we're out of here, let's go.
Come on, bye. Have a good night, guys.
We haven't had one this quick in a long time.
No, only 45 minutes, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get too carried away, we got 3 left here. Mike, we'll take a 5-minute recess, is that okay?
Absolutely.
When Ellie comes. Back from our break, and we're in the middle of, excuse me, discussion continued on road improvements, Perkin Lane. Introduce yourself, we know why you're here, but.
My name is John Romanelli of Zenith Land Surveyors in Bedford. I'm here representing the Mello family who are trying to get their sons the heck out of their house and into their own house next door. So we're doing a roadway improvement project on Perkins Lane. We brought this in front of the board last month, and we discussed with the Mello family that we were going to go 20-foot wide packed gravel versus pavement. Because of the history of Perkins being an old historical road, it's used by the town, it's maintained by the town. There is a conservation area at the end of the road that people go to park, so I think when Paul made his pitch last month, it was pretty obvious that we could go gravel and maintain the character of the road that's there. It's going to be a little bit wider. Right now, I think it's around 12, 13 feet wide, so we're going to push it out to 20 feet. We are going to improve the drainage. Everything's kind of sheet flowing back towards this basin here. We're going to install a new catch basin there. There are a couple proposed dwellings here for the 2 boys. Septics, perks have been done, survey's been done. Basically what we would like to do tonight is to sign the Mylar that creates these 2 A&R lots off of Perkins Lane, which is what you see here in front. There is also a proposed emergency vehicle turnaround right here. And on the Mylar, we have an easement on that property to cover that, so the town will be able to use it and turn around with any emergency vehicle.
How far away is the town line from there?
To the Rochester line?
Yeah, Rochester.
I drove it the other day, it's not that, it's halfway down between,
I would have to say it's at least another 1,500 feet.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
curious, just curious, I'm trying to.
I'm just looking at the town assessors map that shows it. We're right about here,
Okay.
so that's about, yeah, at least another 1,500 to 2,000 feet, I would say, to get to the town line.
now, let's see, Perkins, where's Quaker Lane on that map?
Quaker Lane would be down here.
Yeah, it's,
Okay, so they're going, okay. I understand.
Right, Quaker Lane is out at this end.
Yep.
Right. And it is a public way until you get to right about this point, then it turns private. And that's actually where the pavement does end also. So we're gonna regrade pack all the way up till we get past the hammerhead.
And there's still other houses down the other, further down Quaker Lane?
Correct, there is one more house that's,
I think that's his brother's?
his brother's house, yes, yeah. Yeah, it's all family, I think his mother lives right here.
Yep. No, gentlemen, any questions? I know we discussed it last month.
this is the same thing we discussed last month,
Yep.
actually.
Correct. I just didn't have a Mylar prepared last month.
Gentlemen, is there a motion?
I make a motion to accept.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Whip that Mylar already.
And I know we time-stamped in all these roadway improvements, I think Doug's got all
Yes, I do.
9 sets, there was one at the clerk's office, so.
And I want to say that to all the applicants now, because town clerk, you have to have your applications in the Friday before the Thursday meeting before noon. Right?
I learned that part.
Is that Pam's little rule or?
That's Pam's rule, yep.
Yeah.
Usually it was a Tuesday, but now it's going to be that because
You must have good reason for it, you know?
Well, they were getting inundated, they were just getting inundated at different times,
Yeah.
like. So this
It's
way
crazy.
She can schedule it now that people are gonna be coming in at 11 o'clock. All right, I'm going to.
you're going to sign all these too, we got those? Yep.
Put the box in the wrong area, right?
Should
Did one day, man, the
should-
box is all right down there, they were nice. That could work on a box.
Doug, when I do get this recorded, I will get you a stamped recorded copy. so
Okay.
you're right.
I'm just gonna put the date on it, so we have it. Do you want last meeting's date or this
No,
one?
today's fine.
Alright.
You need a pen here?
Yeah, I got one right here.
Yeah.
Maybe this one's for you.
It's already facing it, Bill, might as well get a running start.
I think the boys wanna take title to this tomorrow. Paul was telling me that, can't get any finance until they get the plan report, so. They'll be happy.
Oh, you don't need to sign these.
Oh,
Should be all set.
Yeah, there are no signature blocks on this.
Yeah, no, it's just a recorded
There might be
copy.
something, there's copies of the A&R.
Copies of the A&R.
There's supposed to be more.
No sign here today, too.
No. That's something we should probably talk about down the road, is putting maybe a signature block on those. They don't get
Well,
recorded.
this is
Yeah.
just because of the road improvement, right?
Yeah, it's just for everyone to have a recorded copy of it.
If you wanna put that in, Doug, maybe we can explain his update, just make some kind of thing for that, I don't know what you and John wanna agree on.
Yeah, and the application and everything was.
That's just a
submitted
regular
last month.
pen.
I have no idea, is it in your pile
Oh,
or
no,
your
ours.
pile?
I have it.
No, this
Yeah.
isn't, this is just paper.
Yep.
yep.
You don't
What
have
are
to-
you arguing
You don't
about?
have you don't have to steal my pen.
Oh, Mark didn't give me one tonight, I've been borrowing everybody.
Oh, I put four out. I
Oh,
put
yeah,
four
look at
out.
that, somebody here, there's two over here, did you take one? You got one, you got one, there?
Only one single
Someone
pen?
stole, you got one right next to you over there. I knew I should have hit that motorcycle coming in.
Be nice, will ya?
Oh, you-
Hey, that's it,
Came close.
You'll kill me if you. Hey! You got insurance?
Okay, with that one being all done, which one do you wanna do next?
I wanna do the one on Perry Hill Lane.
632 Main?
Correct.
Go right ahead. A&R plan, 632 Main Street, Acushnet Assessors Map 13, Parcel 1, Zenith Lane Engineering.
Our client is Deborah Maderas, who currently lives at the house here on 6. Gotta put the glasses on, John. 616, Deborah lives here. This is Country Hardware, Gary Lemos. I believe Deborah is Gary's daughter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Relative summary.
Yes.
Yep. She lives in this home here and has been using this backyard for gardening. There's some shrubs back here. This is like a concrete patio. So I guess before Gary gets any older, she said she wanted to be able to purchase this piece of land and add it to her property, basically because she's currently using it. I went out on site and met with the both of them, and Gary made it pretty clear to me that he was okay with doing this, but he wanted to make sure that he got an access easement coming up, because he currently uses the driveway, I'm sure everybody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, right,
So-
on Main Street, yeah.
So we're proposing an easement of 3394 square feet, so he can maintain and use the driveway that they currently share. Gary's also got a couple of storage bins and stuff. This is kind of how he brings his little tractor up and gets into the backyard, so that is also part of the plan. But basically, we're creating a non-buildable parcel. It's got no frontage attached to it, it's just a big rectangle box here, 72,685 square feet. I did add a note here that the purpose of this plan is to create parcel A, which is a non-buildable lot, and combine it with lot 2, which is Deborah's home. And the total area is gonna be 125,268 square feet. I think it has everything else on it that we require in town. We've got a locus map, all the abutters.
She wants a bigger hangout is what she wants.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's a nice piece of
Oh,
property.
yeah, it's real nice, I know exactly what it is.
Which lot is that part, which lot
Yes, I
is
should
part of
say
that
this.
right now?
Correct. This is a much bigger parcel that Deborah owns with her brother Bill. The remaining land is 12.32 acres. It goes all the way up to Mendel Road. Matter of fact, I have a plan if you want
So
to see it.
there's no changes to the Country Hardware
No.
lot at all?
No.
Is that the field behind our house?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, because the solar panels off to the right.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, so the remaining land is still 12.32 acres, which again takes you you all the way up to Mendel. There's a couple little right-of-ways that go through a couple of these lots up to Perry Hill. I'm sure at some point you'll see something come down the pipe.
Joan?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean,
No,
it's-
I don't have a
we're not
problem
creating
with that.
any more building lots, it's
No.
just for conveyancing purposes.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion, we sign the A&R plan for 632,
That's the
Mylar, and the Second.
copies are
632 R Main Street, as submitted.
Yeah, that's the
Is
way
there a
we're done.
second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Did somebody bring up the application for this one? Because I have a copy of it.
I have copies, I can make copies of it, it's okay.
I mean, if you want this one, you can have it.
I got
I've got it scanned in.
This was not the same
Take it.
Alright,
for the Form C thing.
keep it all together.
Yes.
I do those neat.
There you go.
Officially now.
With those glasses on, Phil.
I can't see without them.
I know,
I'm blind.
like the rest of us.
Yes, I'm in the crowd now.
It's horrible. I'd say something, we're on TV right now.
Same thing as always, John, just got done with the book and page and all that. He's the new sheriff in town.
That's one thing I can do.
You got nine of them?
Yep. Sorry, Keith.
I'll let it be.
You might want one of these for that A&R one. I don't know if you have one inside.
I have them in the back.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. Yeah, I've, type it up now.
You're the man.
Make it look
I
nice
don't have
and
to
neat.
do nothing anymore. This is getting easier and easier here. Maybe you'll start paying us for this job someday.
Insurance. One insurance.
Yeah, you'll never see that.
Everybody running for the board.
Yeah, that's right. While we're signing those, please feel free to continue on, John. I will just, discussion Common Drive, 172 Peckham Road, formerly referred to as 14852 Peckham Road, represented by Zenith Land Surveyors.
I'm gonna drop a couple copies off so you can see that yourself. I'm sure everybody's gonna recognize this.
Yep.
400 times.
I know it by heart. Oh, you got a mile over there.
Okay, 1 72 Peckham Road.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
At the request of the building commissioner, Jim Mara, he's asking us to shorten the common driveway from what we originally had it. For the reasons being, in April at town meeting, when we voted in the new bylaw, well, the new bylaw states that any dwelling has to be a minimum of 75 feet away from the common driveway. Well, before it was just 75 feet away from, like a retreat lot.
Yep.
And the common driveway could be closer than that. But the new bylaw states that it's gotta be a minimum of 75 feet away. So I know Josh had brought this to Jim, and Jim made the suggestion of modifying the common driveway plan.
Sorry, I was just signing that, Steve.
Sure.
What, would that be 75 feet away?
The dwelling has.
Yeah, this dwelling is under construction, this dwelling is under construction. If we bring the common driveway through here, it's less than 75 feet.
So you cut it off down here.
Correct.
I got
And
you.
then giving Josh access through
I got you, I missed
George's
it.
property to get to that. Basically, this does two things. We've never recorded the Form C subdivision that was approved by the board last, I don't even know when that was, February. But this allows Josh to just do a common driveway and not do a Form C subdivision. The part of the Form C subdivision was he was gonna have to bring the water main down to approximately in front of this lot here. And because he's got a culvert, the bridge crossing there was gonna be a costly endeavor for Josh. And Jim said this is an avenue that he was okay with. He sent me an email and suggested that we do this, and I'm bringing it to the board for your blessing.
And this will close the book on this.
This will allow them to do the common driveway. Yeah, the other holdup is George can't get his Board of Health permit without us recording something, whether it's the Form C or this Mylar. So once we
Mylar
do
with
that-
you?
Yes, we do.
Is there a motion, gentlemen?
Motion to sign that baby and not see it again.
I second that.
I'm gonna third this one, okay?
From your mouth to God's ears.
No, this wasn't last February, it was the February before that.
Yes,
No,
it
this
is.
is many
Now, if
February.
you bring another one, yeah.
It's gonna get disapproved.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not even gonna look
That's
at
what
it.
I said, I was
It's gonna
bring him
be
another one.
denied.
Get the Mylar, where's the Mylar?
So Mylar's are on top, yep. And the copies are all
I think I
there.
get the Mylar pen, please, Rick?
I can take this, I'll throw it over there. I'll check with John. Sorry. You want these three signed, or are these just your copies?
You know, I'd love to take a copy back with me signed.
Absolutely.
Same thing, double page, when you get a chance, all good.
You got it.
Have you bought much lumber lately?
I haven't, he has.
Is it still sky high?
It's been going down.
It's going down now.
Yeah, it is.
So, like, plywood, not, you bought it $98 a sheet for flooring, get Vanitech flooring,
That's what happened. I use that all the time, and I couldn't believe how much it was.
It's insane.
It's just unbelievable. Double in
Double,
price.
yeah.
I used to get it for, I think it was like 45 bucks a sheet or something
I
like
think
that.
I bought it
like 53.
cheaper than that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, they were,
This pen just
my
froze.
salesman was
Yeah.
telling me, the guys that went around stealing them off the regular job sites.
Oh, I can imagine.
Returning into the store.
Going to Home Depot and returning them for $98 because they
Yeah.
get store credit.
Yep.
You don't need a receipt. So almost $100 a pop, bring back 5 sheets.
Yeah, 500 bucks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't take long to stick 5 sheets in the back of your truck.
John, you're all set?
And that's it for me tonight.
Great product, by the way. I use it
Yeah,
in
it's amazing.
bathrooms all the time.
It's great.
It's not totally waterproof, but it will take a lot of water
Yeah.
before it
Yeah, we have to
starts
sit
fall
there
apart.
for a long time.
Yeah, if
We
water
kind of
sits on
put
it
a
for a
date on
couple of
that,
months,
please,
it'll
Phil?
get soft, but.
Yeah,
8/19.
yeah, it doesn't swell up to like 2 inches after.
No, it swells a little bit, but not real bad.
Whatever you wanna put.
Yeah,
It doesn't move.
8/19/21, you gotta put 2021.
It's like 20.
No issues, nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
It's
never know.
great product.
Yeah,
I mean,
amazing.
the next step up is marine plywood.
Yeah,
The thing is, years ago, composite materials, people like.
yeah, always people like, oh, nobody wants OSB. Now that they make it like this, everybody wants OSB.
Yeah.
This kind anyway.
Good stuff.
There you go.
There you
I'm done. You go, Doug, all yours. Thank you. Some of them, the regular plywood is delaminated from day one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great product, I use it all the time.
Okay, I gotta get going here. We got a few more things to
Yeah,
do,
okay.
and I gotta go to old business. You got any old business? Doug, you got anything? New business?
New business, as of right now, no. Planner update. Alright, so I have a sheet here to pretty much appoint me as a Serpent liaison for the planning board.
Is there a motion to have Doug be the circuit liaison?
Motion for Doug to be the Serpent liaison.
I second
for the Town of Acushnet Planning Board.
All in
And
favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
I just need your signature.
Oh my God.
I don't want to sign this one.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
guys. Have a good night.
Good luck. Build those things quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, quit, change your mind.
Quick. Thank you, sir.
And today's date, you want me to put on there, right?
Yes, please. Alright, update on the budget adjustment for the clerk position.
This one.
There was gonna be a board of selectmen meeting on this past Monday that ended up getting canceled. As part of their agenda was gonna be a reserve fund transfer to get more funding to be able to hire a clerk for the office. That got postponed until the 31st. Still waiting on that. We, after speaking a little bit with Pat, kind of talked a little bit how we had a lot of solar companies coming in here, not having a connection agreement with Eversource or any other power companies. So pretty much we were talking about adopting a solar bylaw or amendment that would require all of these companies to have a connection with Eversource before they present their plans. So I don't know how you guys.
That can be, I mean, that can be pretty onerous. It can take years to get
I was just gonna say.
that connection,
They want
and
to
interconnect.
make this part of the application?
Yes, so it would, currently we have one solar bylaw, it's like about that big on paper. It would be pretty much proposing to put this as a solar bylaw. I'm gonna work with Pat, I'll come up with wording, and at one of the meetings I'll propose language for it.
How do you guys feel about it? Yeah, because we've been doing these now for months and years, some of them for years, before they get endorsement from
Oh, I
Eversource.
know. I don't know. I mean, that's a tough thing to require somebody to do.
You're asking before they even,
See, I will let you know, I've been waiting 6 months for a meter to be installed.
Yeah.
That's already been called in by the wiring inspector. They're a pretty tough organization
Deal with.
to work with.
Thanks. Well, I think a big part of it too is that Pat was mentioning that like they're also in the solar array business right now too. Like they're looking to build their own field, so they're making it that much more difficult for these.
I mean, they don't want competition, that's
Yep. Okay, so I ended up having a meeting with Pat, Mark. We kind of had a little conversation about transferring stormwater authority to the Conservation Commission. That's in our zoning, our bylaws, planning board, to be able to do that. It kind of makes sense having Pat as conservation agent now. He's also stormwater authority, and having it all over there.
We would relinquish our stormwater.
that would be marvelous. I mean,
So is there a motion?
Yeah, there has to be a vote for it. And it's also gonna be temporary, because it's gonna have to be a zoning just a bylaw change at the next town meeting. But it's you transferring authority,
To conservation.
conservation commission.
For implementation of the stormwater bylaw.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Perfect. Peer review services, I am working on getting rates from Conoco for what they're looking to charge. Pat put together RFQ for stormwater and the planning board to.
You guys want, this is that RFQ. I made a copy and, I haven't finished it yet. But I think it's a good idea. We've been having challenges with this, and you can't blame SWCO, we inundated them with solar arrays, and they just couldn't come up with it, so now we're breaking in a second company, correct?
Correct, yeah, I think we're looking to have 2 peer review services, just because I know on Pat's end of things, he's gonna start requiring peer review for basins, stormwater. He's also gonna start requiring surety for the basins that have been going in all these solar fields. So, it would just get things moving along a lot quicker.
Absolutely, they can have it.
I mean, most of the time, these things are near wetlands anyway, and it makes more sense to me to have the stormwater issues in one board's purview.
Oh, we went out to Wing Lane, walked around towards the back where their basin is. All of the back panels are in water. It was pretty disgusting. Their basin's done completely wrong. All the rocks they moved from the property were just pretty much dumped into the wetland. So it just makes a lot of sense to have Pat there doing it.
This was Wing Lane?
Yes.
The second one, not the first one, right? The first one was done?
So you know how they have the side that has 2, which I believe is 88?
The ones on the right-hand side going down, right?
Yeah, it's the ones on the left hand, one on the left-hand side.
That's a new one.
Yep.
That's the new one, yeah.
Absolutely, I agree, we're all set.
Yep.
Just hand it over to them. Any motions we can make on it, we made the motion.
Yeah, we're all set, I think, on our end of things. And
Gentlemen, anything else?
Yeah, how about the minutes?
oh yes,
Oh,
meeting
there you
minutes.
go. Yep, good idea.
And mail.
Is there a motion to accept the minutes from June 3rd, 2021?
June 3rd?
July 15th.
So I got July 15th there.
Yes, July 15th.
Wrong
Oh.
folder.
I make a motion to accept the minutes for the meeting for July 15th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
Decision order. Notice Board of Appeals, notice of public hearing. Public hearing. This was a letter from Julie's office, town administrator, I believe, in regards to Morris's Lane. Oh, actually. It's an invitation to consult on the Sunrise Wind Farm project. If anybody would like to take a look at this.
You guys all have a copy of those minutes, right, of July 15th?
Excuse me?
You have another copy of July 15th, or you want to set it?
I have a copy of it, but if you just sign it, I'll be good with it.
Get the guy going early, yeah?
Thank you.
Losing daylight. Hate when that starts happening.
Yeah.
Treasure it when it gets here, you know, when you lose it.
Next time you order one of some of these, the skinny ones instead of the fat ones.
Well, that could be a while, so I don't know if it's gonna be prepared for next meeting. Actually, there's some in the
Yeah,
cup
right
over
here.
here. Yeah,
Right here.
yeah, we're all set.
Gentlemen, anything else?
Nope.
Our next meeting will be September 16th, 2021. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you very much, guys.